Are you new to Mosaic Crochet or you'd like to learn some more Mosaic Crochet techniques? Well, this video is for you. Hi, my name is Susan Lohman and I'm the Crochet Architect. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of many different Mosaic Crochet techniques and stitches. I'll also give you links in the video description to my Mosaic Crochet videos so you can learn the techniques that you're interested in learning. Some techniques are even reversible. And I have some free downloads so you can practice some of these techniques for yourself. So let's get started. Before I show you a bunch of different styles of Mosaic Crochet, I want to tell you some of the rules for Mosaic Crochet. Almost all Mosaic Crochet is done with only one color of yarn in each row. Mosaic Crochet alternates between a light color and a dark color, so you'll always be alternating your rows. Some Mosaic Crochet is one-sided, and other Mosaic Crochet is reversible. And there are three main styles of Mosaic Crochet. There's overlay, inset, and spike stitch. So this is the first one we're going to look at in a little bit more depth right now. This is your basic overlay Mosaic Crochet. All of the rows are done on the right side. You start and end each row, and you have tails for each row. Each row is done on the right side in the back loop only for your single crochets, and then your double crochets are worked 2 rows below in the front loop that was not worked into before. And on the back side of this overlay Mosaic Crochet, you have stripes. You also have some stitches that are skipped, so there's a little bit of a gap in different places. And when it's only one stitch skipped, it's not a big deal. But when you have a lot of stitches skipped, you can get these gaps, okay? These big old spaces that just kind of hang there. And I don't like that, and a lot of people don't like that in Mosaic Crochet. See all of these gaps? So I invented a stitch called an anchored double crochet. Now the anchored double crochet looks exactly the same on the front as the regular double crochet, but on the back it eliminates the gaps because each of your stitches is anchored. Now if you'd like to learn the anchored double crochet for eliminating those gaps, you can watch my video number 18. If you'd like to learn regular Mosaic Crochet, overlay Mosaic Crochet, that's video 21. I also have another video of an alternate anchored double crochet which uses less yarn than the original anchored double crochet. They look almost the same on the back. There's just a little bit of gap, but not very much. And if you'd like to learn that one, it's video number 41. Now let's look at another thing that I've done. I don't like all these tails in regular overlay Mosaic Crochet. So I came up with what I call my COM technique, C-O-M, and it stands for Continuous Overlay Mosaic. And I do something at the end of each row to bring the yarn back to the beginning of the following row so that I can use it again, and I eliminate all those tails. The back is still one-sided. We have the stripes, and I'm using my anchored double crochet so there's no gaps. But I eliminate almost all the tails. You only have a light and a dark, 2 of each, to weave in when you're done. So if you'd like to learn my COM technique, that's video number 25. Another thing that I've seen done, and I wanted to do it myself, actually not too many people do this, but this is called back and forth overlay. And all of these rows are worked with right side stitches. The way I can do that is this row and this row were worked on the right side, and the next two rows were worked on the wrong side, but I inserted my hook backwards. And it's hard to explain, but if you'd like to learn that technique, that's video number 48. And there's no carrying your yarn across because it's always where you left it. So you do 2 right side rows and 2 wrong side rows, but your stitches all are facing the front. If you see very closely here, the front loop is angled this way on this row, but it's angled this way on the next row and the next 2 rows. So these are rows worked on the right side, these are rows worked on the wrong side. Almost as if I was working with my right hand on 2 rows and my left hand on 2 rows, but I use my right hand continuously through all of that. So that's video 48 if you're interested in learning that technique. And then another technique for mosaic crochet, which a lot of you already know, is inset mosaic crochet. With this style of mosaic crochet, you work 2 rows of one color and 2 rows of the next color. So you're always keeping your tails on the one edge of the piece. So you work a right side row and a wrong side row with one color, a right side row and a wrong side row with the next color. And you just bring your tail up to the next time that you need it, 2 rows later. So you'll have all of these strands here, which you can cover with your border when you're all done. Now this is a one-sided technique. Here's the stripes on the back. And you're still doing double crochets, but you're working in both loops. And you're working 3 rows below. So this is 1 row below, 2 rows below, and 3 rows below. And if you'd like to learn the inset mosaic crochet technique, that's video number 23. Now, all of these are one-sided techniques, and I'm going to show you some two-sided techniques, which are reversible. This one is my REV-COM technique. That stands for Reversible Continuous Overlay Mosaic Crochet. And it looks the same as the regular mosaic crochet swatch that I showed you, but it's reversible. So we have a pattern on the back instead of just stripes. You can do this technique with or without the tails. So this is actually just reversible. It's not continuous overlay mosaic because I have all the tails here, but this one is reversible and continuous. So I have a video for that technique. That's video number 26. And there's just a little bit of a difference on what you do to make your project reversible. That's a really fun one. Okay, the next one is the lock stitch, and another lady invented this one, and she gave me permission to do a video on it, and this is video 28, and this is very similar to my REV-COM technique. But you can see there's a little bit of difference, but it is reversible. So you can do it with the tails, beginning and ending each row, or carrying your yarn across in the continuous overlay mosaic crochet technique. So that's another way to make your project reversible. We also have reversible inset. I showed you this other inset mosaic crochet that was not reversible. And if you do your stitches a little bit differently, you can actually get reversible inset mosaic crochet. So you won't have any tails. You'll be working 2 rows in each color, but you'll have the same pattern on the back that you have on the front. You can work all of your stitches in both loops, or you can work your right side rows in the back loop only. And you can see there's a little bit more definition when you work your stitches in the back loop only. They're both reversible. They look pretty much identical on the back. So if you'd like to learn reversible inset, that's my video number 24. I have a few more to show you. This is spike double crochet, and this is also reversible. It can be done with beginning and ending each row and having tails, or it can be done continuously. You can see on the back that each of these is reversible, and that's using a spike double crochet. If you'd like to learn that, that's in video number 39. Now this one is a spike single crochet. These spike ones are one row of each color, okay? So you're alternating your dark and your light. This one is a single crochet instead of a double crochet, but the spike stitches are reversible. It makes your project totally reversible. It gives it a nice feel too, especially when you're carrying your yarn across. If you're using the right hook size, it's not too thick or too thin. And then the last one is an alternate spike single crochet. Now this is different than this. Okay, obviously it's a different pattern, but with this one you get a dark side and a light side because one stitch is predominantly more visible on one side than the other. This is worked in the back loops, and that makes one side more visible than the other. And this is really cool because you get those two different looks on each side. If you'd like to learn this technique, it's video number 53. I hope you've enjoyed exploring these mosaic crochet techniques with me and that your interest in mosaic crochet has increased. If you're interested in any of my mosaic crochet patterns, I have links in the video description below, along with links to each of the videos teaching mosaic crochet techniques. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and happy mosaic crocheting to all of you. If you like this video,